This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we'll only criticize to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. This is the voice of the people, and the voice of the people is the voice of God. No, my brother, my sister, today we have a number of issues as usual. I want to touch down running. I'm reading this, my brother, my sister. The very first reading we're taking from 3news.com, the most authentic source of news online. And it says, we will restore the original names of universities renamed by Akufo-Addo. This is Mahama speaking. I read, former President John Dramani Mahama has served notice to restore the original names of the public universities that have been renamed by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He stated that the names that have been currently given will be given to significant infrastructure in the universities. I take that again. He stated that the names that have given currently will be given to significant infrastructure in the universities. That paragraph doesn't make too much sense to me, but let's look at the next paragraph. It says, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, said that every public university was initiated and built by the NDC. He says the new patriotic party only comes in to rename those universities. We are known as nation builders because of the number of schools we have built. Every public university was initiated and built by us. All the NPP knows how to do is name universities that people have built. Now, after NDC builds a university, then they will give it the name of one of their heroes or people. We are going to rename the universities. Ghana has many heroes, and not only the heroes of the NPP tradition. We can name an administration block, hostel, and library after somebody, but the university must reflect its core mandate. And so we will restore the original names and the names that they have given them will be given to significant infrastructure in the universities. And of course, my brother, my sister, it is recalled that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo renamed the University of Development Studies, the UDS, Wa campus after Simon Diendong Dombu, politician from the United Party tradition. Now, my brother, my sister, I am so interested in this as somebody you will call a historian. My brother, my sister, now what is former President John Dramani Mahama talking about? He is saying that some people are the builders and others slumber, come back later and rename the buildings. Interesting. Now, we build a university. We give it a name to represent the nation. Some people wake up from their long slumber. They come in and they decide to name the universities after their own heroes. My brother, my sister, Mahama says, when he becomes president again, one of the things he will do is to rename these universities. I am more than happy to have this happen. Now, my brother, my sister, let's start the renaming process by going into the Kotoka International Airport, the so-called. It is one of the biggest living criminality staring at the country and slapping the country's cringing brows. My brother, my sister, we name a whole airport, international airport, one of the most beautiful airports in Africa, after a cool maker. A man who picked up arms and decided to topple the democracy of a nation. My brother, my sister, we decide to make famous the works of a criminal. We decided to make famous the handiworks of a coup maker. Yet, a few years down the line, we are all crying that we don't want to see coup d'etats anymore. A few years down the line, we are calling ourselves the kings of democracy in West Africa. My brother, my sister, is that not a paradox? It is so paradoxical of us, my brother, my sister, to name a whole airport after a coup maker, a criminal coup maker, a cowardly coup maker, who at the point of death was begging for his life like a little toddler in a cradle. My brother, my sister, Kotoka was a man who boasted all over the place that he had juju, and that the juju could make him turn into a cat. He could turn into a cat and run into every corner. No matter how high you took him, when you dropped him, he landed on his 4 feet. That was what he told people around him, and it's been captured in history, oral history. When a junior soldier picked up a gun and pointed it at his head, he was begging and crying like a toddler on heat. Begging, my brother, my sister, begging for his life, begging that he will topple the government and bring back whoever they wanted in power. We don't want to go too much into the history. One bullet took the life of the man who said he had powers to turn into a cat and face any situation. Today, my brother, my sister, a villain like that is the one we have named the whole airport after, because the people of this country have no respect for decency of history. It hurts me anytime I am flying around the world and I am arriving right here in Ghana, and the first thing you hear the pilot announce or the air hostess announce is, in a few minutes we will be arriving at the Kotoka International Airport. It kills me every second I hear that name, Kotoka. We have all these years endorsed this living criminality. We have all these years endorsed this blatant criminality. We have all these years, my brother, my sister, endorsed the coup d'etat that ended the growth of Ghana. Are we sane? Or are we insane? Are we daft? Or are we morons, my brother, my sister? All these years, this criminal edifice is still standing there. If you cannot take the name of the villain out of that beautiful edifice, then let's crash down the edifice so it will go into the drains with the man himself, Kotuka. Mahama is making me happy. Mahama, don't only think about renaming universities, restoring them to their original names. Please, let us look at all those dirty statues that are standing in our nation. J.B. Dankwa has no business having a statue in this country. Such a bigot, my brother, my sister. History tells us that J.B. Dankwa was nothing but a tribalist. He wanted Ghana to be named Akan land. Why should a man like that have a statue in this country? My brother, my sister, why should we name a university after Dombo? What has he done for the nation? He was only a member of a political party that did not even respect him. Until recently, when they decided to add his name, my brother, my sister, to the whole party mantra. They used to call it the Busia Dankwa, forgetting so much the man who founded the NPP, the Northern People's Party, Dombo. Dombo was a good man until he decided to sell out and follow out Kwame Nkrumah, I beg your pardon, these UP tradition people. Now the greatest traitors of this nation are the UP tradition people. They chased Kwame Nkrumah left, right, and center into exile. They were still not satisfied with it. They chased him into exile, trying to end his life. My brother, my sister, history has documented this, and no matter what you do, you can never erase history. Kwame Nkrumah built the very first school in this country, built by a Ghanaian, better still an indigene, and he named it Ghana. He didn't name it Kwame Nkrumah. All of a sudden, we have some villains parading themselves as nationalists, and they want to rename almost everything. The other day, they wanted to rename one of the halls of the University of Ghana. No, the hall of the University of Ghana after J.B. Dankwa or somebody like that. My brother, can you believe this? They want to name the University of Ghana after J.B. Dankwa. The other day, we're talking about it here. Is J.B. Dankwa bigger than Ghana? You have a university that is called the University of Ghana. And now they are thinking about calling it J.B. Dankwa University of Ghana. What tautology? This is so tautologous and so paradoxical of us as a people. Anytime we try to be so mediocre. Mr. Mahama, please, I support you in this. And when you come into power, I want to see the statue of William Akufo-Addo. Is it William Akufo-Addo crashed down? Edward Akufo-Addo. I want to see the statue of J.B. Dankwa crashed down. These people did not serve us in any way in this nation. They only served their parochial interest. And the more we dealt with these things, the better. I leave it here. Next thing I want to look at is this, and it's from the graphic. It says, we gave Mahama a chance to be president. We must be fair to Bawumia. And this is Kofi Bentil. Now, who is Kofi Bentil? Let's find out. In a Facebook post, Kofi Bentil, Vice President of Imani Africa, has called on Ghanaians to grant Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia a fair and objective hearing. Mr. Bentil believes that Dr. Bawumia, who has never held the presidency, deserves the opportunity to showcase his capabilities. I leave it here. Yes, I will. I truly love Kofi Bentil. In fact, his president, Kujo, was my mate at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. I love Imani Africa. And I love the democracy that is in there. Franklin would most of the time talk about Mahama in a positive light. And then Kofi Bentil sometimes is here, and other times he's talking on the other side. That is what we call democracy. But Mr. Bentil, with all love and respect, listen to this. Bawumia doesn't have to be president before we see he's a lousy, useless economist that has thrown this country into nothing but nothingness. Bawumia has lost every favor, every credibility in this nation. I am not ready to gamble with a failure. I will take out my children from this country the day Bawumia is announced president. My ghost will leave this country the day Bawumia is announced president. I have suffered almost 8 years of Bawumia's incompetence and Bawumia's inefficacies. It is time, my brother, my sister, to look at things. We considered Mahama a failure. We saw that Mahama was quite corrupt until Nana Akufo-Addo reared his head and gave us false hopes. He brought in Bawumia, who all of us saw as a gentleman, soft-spoken and brilliant. My brother, my sister, little did we know that we were dealing with the demon. Bawumia came in, one lie after another lie. He became the king of lies, crowned as such, and sent straight to hell to go and dwell with Satan. Hallelujah. I cannot afford to see Bawumia as president of this nation, at least not in the coming election. Maybe another time when he gets rebaptized. Maybe another time when he washes off his cloak of incompetence. Then I might be ready to consider Bawumia. But as it stands right now, away with incompetence, away with lies, away. My brother, my sister, we have had enough of Bawumia's lies and treachery. We have had enough of these IMF politicians. We have had enough of these World Bank borrowing politicians. Any Tom, Dick, and Harry can call himself president as long as he can borrow money. And Bawumia and Nana Akufo-Addo have not demonstrated enough patriotism. They have not demonstrated enough capabilities to be able to run a country except to go around borrowing left, right, and center. I don't like them. And because it's not about Blakk Rasta, if Bawumia decides or Ghana decides to make Bawumia president, I told you, and I'm not joking, I will leave this country. Don't ask me where I'm going. Wherever I go is good. Even hell will be better. We were warned against Nana Akufo-Addo. We were told that if we voted him into power, we will see clean, real, hot, red fire. My brother, we decided not to listen to that. We trashed that talk and voted Satan's grandson right here, my brother, my sister. And today, this is what we're saying. I can't afford a Bawumia presidency. Nana Akufo-Addo said he brought him in to be able to support him, to bring the nation up. What support has he given Nana Akufo-Addo? Except to tell lies and spread propaganda and push all of us into the doldrums. This is the mind of the people. Now the last thing I want to look at, and I'm going to spend just a few minutes on this and I'll be done. And I'm reading this from Ghana Word, and it says, Akufo-Addo rebuilt Ghana. You left it in disarray. And this is Kofi Akpaloo. Yes, Kofi Akpaloo to Mahama. I read, leader of the Liberal Party of Ghana, Percival Kofi Akpaloo, has deflated John Mahama's argument that he left Ghana in a better shape than what we have now. Mahama on his campaign tour said that he bequeathed a more resilient and better economy to Akufo-Addo, the Akufo-Addo administration. But things have deteriorated after almost 8 years in power. Speaking to Asempa FM's flagship show, Ekosi saying Kofi Akpaloo, however, disagreed with the former president. According to Mr. Akpaloo, things have rather improved and gotten better under the current administration. Wow. Kofi Akpaloo. So this is what you want to become president with. Even unborn babies know that Nana Akufo-Addo has given us a worse gun. Why are people crying for Mahama to come? I wish there was a better person coming than Mahama, honestly. Mahama came, disappointed us in one way or the other. But with what Akufo-Addo has done, Mahama is an angel. We have seen wanton pilfering in Nana Akufo-Addo's very, very, very suicidal government. We have seen a pretentious government that lies to the people, that it is combat ready for corruption. But corruption is their middle name. They wear shoes of corruption, cloaks of corruption. They eat the seeds of corruption. We still remember Cecilia Dapa. We still remember, my brother, my sister, the wanton galamsey that has become the middle name of this nation. We still remember the cocoa that is being bought from countries that do not even produce cocoa. We remember the wanton smuggling. We remember the arrogance in government. Akpaloo, is this what you call a better country? I wish it was. In the days of Mahama, it was a ball of cake. What was the exchange rate when Mahama was in power. My brother, my sister, listen to this. Baumia gave us a certain very beautiful formula. You see, he says if the economy is terrible, when the foundations are weak and trembling and ready to break apart, we would be signaled by the exchange rate, right? Paraphrased. When the foundations are weak, the exchange rate will betray you. Today, my brother, my sister, what is the exchange rate? Yesterday when I checked, it was 12.4, and on the black market, higher to 1 Ghana cedi. How much was it when Mahama was here? Well, we have an excuse. It is the war in Mali. It is the war in Sierra Leone. Yes, it is the war around the Francophone. That is why the cedi is falling. Oh no, it is COVID. Because we are the only country that suffered COVID. Oh, I beg your pardon. I think it is the war in Russia. Yes. Because Ghana is Russia. All the bombs unleashed by Russia are landing in Ghana. That is why the cedi is this bad. Agbalu, if you continue in this kind of discourse, you will be 7 trillion miles away from the presidency, because it looks like you have turned a blind eye to the real problems of the people. Hallelujah. It's the Black Pot, aka Kuku Shodemo, where we speak truth to power. And I want to say thank you so much for coming along. I appreciate you and I love you. Beatrice Edu is in the house, and she is going to be taking the news at noon. It will last 40 minutes. I return in the African history class, preceded by 4 for the class.